You know, the first thing I talked to the players about the day of the game was understand most Grey Cups, like in '07, the Grey Cup we're in, the last drive of the game was when it was won. In '09, it took 60 minutes plus a play. And '10, it took the last drive of the game. So understand that you're going to have strong emotions at the beginning of the game when you come out of the tunnel, but you have to be focused on your responsibilities and do your task at hand. And I'm trying to rack my brain because we're 2nd and 2 on the first run we do, okay, and there's a huge hole on the base play we run, and there's a huge hole to cut back. The key read for the running back is to cut back, and he bounces it outside and loses 2 yards, where it's probably going to go 35 yards. It's blocked so well. And you're trying to figure out, and then we drop a ball in a series. We have a ball knocked down, and then we drop a ball, and then all of a sudden you're into the second quarter, and then we miss a throw to Greg Carr. We thought we might have had a chance for a touchdown there. So I'm trying to, why this so sorry. Maybe their nerves. That's why they made some mistakes early on. And to give the BC Lions credit, they're a good defense. They did that to Montreal, and they did that to Edmonton. But certainly, in the big games, we got to start faster. So, I think maybe those are some of the easy things on a 2nd and 3 that we really pop that. Are our nerves too amped up early in the game? And that's the one thing I'm going to continue to caution the guys about when we get in big games like that.
Have you got one area that's high on your list where you'd like more depth?
I think we certainly have to have more. We need more consistency. I want more competition in the kicking game. Is one area I'd like to have more competition.
Learn in Saskatchewan about dealing with the off season and how to go about keeping enough talent around, but at the same time pushing the right people, so to speak. You know what I mean?
I've learned this. You have to make sure you have to be comfortable making change. And you have to kind of have a decision process of you've seen enough of certain players to go, okay, we can make a change. And I think Joe Mack and our staff has done a good enough job of that, of letting younger players play. But you also have to have a veteran. You have to have some veteran leadership. But the veteran leadership, you can't just have veterans if they still don't play at a high level. And I think that's the trap some people fall into. They say, well, he's a vet, well, if he's a vet who can perform. Doug Brown's played here a long time, and when we got here, everyone said, oh, they're not going to play Doug, he's too old. Well, Doug Brown's a good football player. Are you going to play good football players? Age is not a factor, okay? So that's what we'll manage over the off season.
Well, you said that you're part of the decision process when it comes to the free agents, like suggesting I want Buck back. What about the rest of your free agents? You look at guys like Ian Logan. Do you have a list that you hand Joe Mack and say, these are my priorities? And is Ian one of the priorities? Brendan one of the priorities?
Well, obviously all your starters, it starts with your starters, so have to be priorities. And then you, and the weird thing is you may not get them all back because, if you have a lot of free agents, it's hard to get them all. But we're going to try our best to try to keep as many of these core players as possible.
Well, do you want Odell Willis back?
We want to, at this point, we want to start with our whole team back, and then, I have to sit down and evaluate all the film, sit down with all the coaches. So for me to say that any player is not going to be back based on just, I wouldn't do that at this point. I certainly wouldn't say, because I have to make decisions on a lot of guys, offensive and defensive and special teams.
20 or 30 years from now, looking back at this season, what story will you tell? What will you say?
I would say it's a team that overcame a lot of adversity. It's a team that was a scrappy team that fought through a lot of things to get to win first place in the East when nobody picked them, gave them a shot at any way, shape, or form of being the first place team in the East. It's a team that handled the East Division very well, and had a chance to go to Grey Cup and didn't finish.